Kol Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father through the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the 100% truth according to the Bible, and who rule well. And shalom to all you Akim and you Akwat, those of the hopeful elect that are seeking for salvation. And got this article here from abcnews.com. It says U.S. moves carrier to Middle East following attacks on U.S. forces. There have been incidents involving drone and rocket attacks on U.S. bases. And I'm going to say allegedly. We know how the media is. It says U.S. increases show of force in Middle East. ABC News is told new U.S. ships headed to the region are meant to deter Iran, Hezbollah from widening the war. U.S. Navy via Getty Images. It says the Pentagon announced late Saturday that it will send an aircraft carrier and air defense systems to defend U.S. military troops in response to a growing number of attacks on U.S. facilities, presumably by Iranian-backed groups as tensions mount amid the, conflict over there in the Middle East with the small hats and the Palestinians. Additionally, additional U.S. military forces in the U.S. have also been placed in a higher state of readiness for a possible future deployment to the Middle East on short notice. Okay, and they're talking about passing this bill to enforce a a draft. So as the scriptures say, Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And woe represents war. You had World War I, World War II, and John the Revelator also received the vision of World War III. So we're in a point in time where very soon we're getting ready to see World War III kick off. Now, of course, we have to remind, the believers, and we ourselves have to remember there's an order of prophecies. The MOTB, the RFID CHIP, must be implemented, fully implemented, where this devil's going to crash society and bring in this new form of currency to buy or sell via the MOTB. And of course, we are forbidden to take it. So if World War III, which is coming quickly, is close, then the MOTB is even closer. Now, when you read Habakkuk 2 and 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. This season that we're in, of the end of this wicked rulership ran by the Edomites, the so-called white people, okay, which is also known as the wicked, pursuing the Malachi 1 and 4, is almost up. As the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're seeing that this kingdom, which is the main hub of the Edomites, is getting ready to go out with a bang, literally. Yahweh Shai, the angel, is about to come back to redeem the elect and bring forth war against their enemies and invade this land, shooting, laser beams, bringing fire, whirlwind, destruction, and death via the chariots, as the world ignorantly call UFOs. And then you're going to have the thermonuclear destruction. Now, as Habakkuk reads on to say, 2 and 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So each and every day now we're seeing that the prophecies are speeding up. All right, the end time prophecies is taking hold very fast. Right, each day you don't know how far ahead we're going to be tomorrow or next week or 2 months from now. Okay, now I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, this vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. And this is going to be in our lifetime. We're witnessing a downfall and destruction of a current rulership, the last wicked rulership to run. All right, that little horn that Daniel received the vision of. Okay, right before the everlasting kingdom is ushered in, which is a kingdom promised to Yahweh Shai, in which King David will sit on the throne. Okay, it's about to be fulfilled. It says, if it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. And we're seeing it. And those are the believers, the hopeful elect, is what we're doing is waiting patiently. We have hope. We see that our redemption draweth nigh. Now, what this is going to end up doing is it's going to lead to a major battle out there in the Middle East, the Valley of Yahweh-Shaphat. Okay, matter of fact, let me bring out Joel, 3rd chapter. It says, Joel 3:1, for behold, in those days and in that time when I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat. So in this appointed time, the Lord is actually calling back our captivity. Our punishment has been fulfilled. So we're going to no longer go back into captivity, and we're getting ready to enslave the heathen nations from Esau, the Hamites, which is so-called Africans. Okay, the Moabites, the so-called Chinese. The Ammon, so-called Japanese, the East Indians, the Arabs. All these other nations are going into captivity. So this is a process leading up to that. Okay, as the Lord is getting ready to lift up the curses that he put on his people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So he's calling back the captivity as you see the curses being put on our enemies. And as he's gathering these nations in the Middle East, he says, and I will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat. And that's over in the Middle East region where these nations are gathering up. Now, it reads on to say, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. So the Lord is doing all this. He's judging these nations on behalf of his people, the Israelites, whom they have scattered among the nation and part of my land. And it's obvious we've been scattered via slavery, captivity, trade, the slave trades that was taking place between these nations, in which Esau sat at the head of the table, and orchestrated, and was the head ringleader in our demise. So he's going to have to answer for it, as well as these other nations who played a part. And they're fighting over that land, in which another indication and key point to know that those people are not the true Israelites in that land, in our land. They parted it and they continue to fight over it, in which the scriptures say, when the true Israelites are there, there will be no war. There will be peace. And what happened? Where's the gold paved roads, right? Where's the rest of the 12 tribes? I mean, it's so many proof that we can bring out in these scriptures, man. And we've done lessons on it, proving that those aren't the people over there in that land. So, Jake should already know what's going on. Now, jumping down to verse 9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And that's what the Lord is doing. Let me get a precept right quick, because they all know that, each enemy or side has nuclear capability and arsenal that can destroy, a whole country. Yet the Lord is making them do what his will is, so they can't avoid it even if they wanted to. Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So these leaders are being controlled. Their minds, that word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means your mind, is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is making these leaders do exactly what he wants them to do. And you have America sending over a fleet. They're sending over troops. You have other nations sending forth their troops, getting involved, picking a side, preparing and sending forth their military, arsenal, trucks, vehicles, Humvees, whatever, aircrafts. They're preparing for this major war, World War III, the last and all be all war. So going back to Joel 3:9, verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. So trade in your farm tools okay, for weaponry, for, weapons, which signifies or represents preparation and again, preparation and build up for war. These nations have been investing in war artillery, nuclear capability, all these different things. So now these nations who were being bullied by, that great whore is now feeling more confident because they have nuclear capability. And not only do they have nuclear weapons, they're partnering with each other, right? They're partnering with each other. So they're now looking at America ready to take on this place. America still has the number one nuclear arsenal by far, but these other nations combined, as they are, building their network together and relationships, will eventually shoot their weapons on this place and destroy this place completely, right? And that includes America's allies. The scriptures tell you that. So the weak, those who once were at the bottom and was insignificant, now have invested in this nuclear capability and now have something to say, right? Preparing for war. Verse 11 says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Verse 11, I'm going to read it in NLT, says, come quickly, all you nations everywhere, gather together in the valley of Yehoshaphat. And now, O Lord, call out your warriors. There's going to be a lot of death and destruction out there in the Middle East. Very soon, the Lord is going to have them go to war against one another. He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. The Lord is going to bring forth death and destruction amongst these nations on behalf of the Israelites. And eventually, the nukes are going to be sent over here to destroy this land completely. All right. And Yahushua is going to beam up the elect right before it hits. Jeremiah 50:9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Babylon represents America. Revelation, the 18th chapter. This place is going to be destroyed in literally 1 hour via those nuclear missiles. And that north country is Russia. Okay. Assembly of great nations from the north country. And Russia has their alliances, Iran, North Korea, China. And ironically, they are, or spiritually or prophetically, they are working with each other. It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. So they're going to set themselves in formation. They're going to join forces to shoot their missiles on America. From thence she shall be taken, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain, meaning those missiles which Jeremiah referred to as arrows are going to hit their mark. They're not going to miss. None of them are going to return in vain. Now, reading this in the NLT, it says, for I am raising up an army of great nations from the north. They will join forces to attack Babylon, and she will be captured. The enemy's arrows will go straight to the mark. They will not miss. So here we go. All right, it's a buildup, and we are also seeing a societal collapse very soon being prepared. Lord will not do a lesson on that. Interest rates are shooting out the roof. The job market is continuing to be harder. Homelessness has increased. Credit scores are continuing to take a dive. Credit cards are maxed out. Inflation goes up. So it's a variable of prophecies that are coming together to complete the ultimate destruction of Babylon the Great very soon. As you read here, abcnews.com, U.S. moves carriers to Middle East, or moves carrier to Middle East following attacks on U.S. forces. So our redemption draweth nigh. Very soon the Lord is getting ready to return. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.